Through the generous contribution of Dr. Lewis's family, we're very fortunate to be able to share with you these timeless recordings of Dr. M. W. Lewis, a self-realized American yogi. Dr. Lewis was Paramahansa Yogananda's first American disciple and dearest personal friend. The wisdom Dr. Lewis imparts through these teachings will give you a dynamic and practical insight into the ancient science of yoga as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. This lecture's title is Christ, Human or Divine, and was delivered in Hollywood, California on December 25th, 1955.
I hope I haven't forgotten anything. When I get home, I sometimes am advised that I forgot certain things. But anyway, the main thing is that I wish you all a wonderful Christmas. And the greatest thing that I can wish and pray for you all is that you contact more and more the reality within us, Christ, and the one common Father. That's why Jesus said, seek first that. And as the Master said just before he passed away, he said, remember the wonderful times we used to have together? I said, yes, sir. He says, where is it? Where are those things? They're gone. It's a dream, isn't it? I said, yes, sir. But he says, that love which we have had all through it all, from the beginning, he says that is the same. As we began, let us finish. And so, this Christmas, let us hold this wonderful spirit of Christmas, which is God's love in the hearts of each and every one of us. There's nothing but that. All else passes away, all the beautiful gifts which we give to one another, but the spirit that is given with those gifts, the love, is of God, and let it rest in God. And so let that be my wish for you all, that more and more you feel God through the channel he has sent, the channel of the beloved Master. That will sustain you. No force in the universe can disrupt that, because that's God himself. And so let us carry that spirit, not only on this Christmas day, but every day. As the Master said, every day is Christmas for me. He said, all souls are equal. All souls are equal. Someone said, but sir, you're a master. Christmas can be Christmas every day. You're a master. He says, no. All souls are equal. Everyone is a potential Christ. The only difference is I made the effort. And so let us make that effort to make every day just as we feel today, in the security and in the love of God. That should be Christmas every day. It can be done because we are made in the image of God. We have that power. It can be done. We are children of God. Only we have to make the effort. So let us make that effort from now on, never forgetting, thou and I never apart. And when once you establish that Christ consciousness within you, establish the contact with God, his light will be there. It will never leave you. Then you know, thou and I never apart. Thou and I never apart. Now our subject this morning is Christ human or divine? Christ human or divine? Christ human or divine should be Jesus, the Christ, human or divine. Jesus who manifested Christ consciousness, human or divine. He was both. He had the human vehicle, we all know that, history records that, but he manifested the Christ consciousness within him almost completely. I say that because the Master said whenever even a liberated soul as he himself was, and Jesus and the other great Christs come on earth, they take on a little of delusion. And so when Jesus was on the cross, he said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Just a little delusion was there. But throughout his life, he raised the dead, healed the sick, took care of the blind. Why? Because he manifested the power of God in creation in his body as the Christ consciousness. And when he spoke and said, I say unto you, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not. Meaning, not the words of Jesus the man, but of the Christ consciousness within him. The truths of that consciousness spoken as his words shall not pass away. And so Jesus was both the man and the divine consciousness within him. He also said in another reference in St. John, 14th chapter, the words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but of the Father that dwelleth in me. And so you see, Jesus understood perfectly well that it was the Christ consciousness in him that was speaking these words of truth. It was God the Father in him that was speaking these words of truth. And so Jesus spoke not as the man, but as the divine consciousness within him, the Christ consciousness. Jesus was both human and divine. Now let us take up first the human aspect of Jesus. The human aspect of Jesus manifested itself mostly up to the age of 12, as we can read in the Scriptures. That is, up to the age of 12, Jesus was a boy, grew up, and manifested the human aspects of the bodily vehicle. But at about the age of 12, then the divine aspect of Jesus began to come forth, forged to the front. And we read in Luke, the 2nd chapter, when his folks were hunting for him, he had disappeared, they found him. They found him with the learned men in the temple. We read that in Luke, the 2nd chapter.